Fire signs, hello and welcome to your week ahead TarotScopes with me, intuitive Rene. So this is for Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, all our zodiac fire signs. We are doing the week of the 13th to the 19th of February 2023, and as you may know, that is Valentine's week. Valentine's Day falls within that, and as much as I'm not really the kind of person that follows Valentine's Day, I did think we needed a purple heart to acknowledge, to celebrate. And for those of you who need a little bit of extra love in your life, I thought we would include that. The reason why I am such an advocate of purple, and in this particular case purple hearts, I thought I would show you here. So a purple heart is commonly used to represent love, support, close bonds and admiration for all things that have some kind of relation to the color purple. My logo is purple, my hair is purple, my life is purple, my car has purple on it. Purple is such an important color to me, just because it makes me feel good. So we're not doing typical red hearts today, we are doing beautiful, fabulous purple fluffy hearts. So happy Valentine's Day to those of you who do celebrate, and I do hope that this week brings every single one of you just a little bit more love in your life. This week I am working with Chris and Donnelly's decks. I have got the traditional Lightseers Tarot, and the oracle I'm working with is her, it's the same creator, it's her Sacred Creators Oracle. So these are the two decks that I've decided to work with this week, and I do hope that you're going to enjoy. We are going to switch things around a little bit because you know me, I like to change things up. I don't like too much consistency. So we're going to do tarot last this week. So I'm going to move them out of the way and let's look at our Sacred Creators Oracle. So Sacred Creators Oracle is quite an interesting one. It does have some very simple graphics, but mostly what it has is a key phrase. I'll show you there. Just a key phrase which often speaks absolute volumes. So fire signs, as I'm shuffling this deck, what we're looking for is a card that's going to set the tone for the week ahead. So what is and apparently that one wants us to choose it. I don't normally choose jumpers or flippers or whatever because I know that I am a bad shuffler, but sometimes I just get a feeling that that's the one, and in this particular case I think that's a feeling. So we can't see what it is but we are going to take it, fire signs. So let's pull it out and see what we have. I'm going to put the rest of the cards away. Bring it closer so you can see. It says prosperity's sisters are happiness and joy. I love that. You know what? I 100%, if you have been following me for any amount of time, you will know that joy is the most important thing in my life. Happiness and joy are the two qualities that I live my life by. And if I don't have happiness and joy, I stop the activity. It's as simple as that. I don't do things that don't bring me happiness and joy. And I can attest that if you live your life based on happiness and joy, prosperity follows. You cannot have prosperity in any shape, state, or form if you do not have happiness and joy. Not or joy, and joy, okay? Very, very, very important. So prosperity's sisters are happiness and joy, and a little bit of glare from my lights. Let me see if I can adjust that. Sorry, fire signs, you guys are always the ones that get me, that I have to adjust the lighting with. And I test the lighting before I start, but as soon as you bring color into my table setup, it adjusts the way the camera perceives the lighting. So anyway, I do apologize for that. So prosperity's sisters are happiness and joy. Absolutely 100% agree with that. Let's get shuffling with the tarot. My Lightseers Tarot is one of the ones that originally came out slightly imperfect, which is why I love it, because we are imperfect, aren't we? None of us are perfect. None of us are, perfect in any way, shape, or form. So my Lightseers is my absolute workhorse deck, and it needs to be a little bit imperfect. So my edges are a bit rough. So it is the same as me, which I just think is fabulous. So fire signs, as we shuffle our Lightseers Tarot, We are thinking about prosperity. We are thinking about prosperity sisters that are happiness and joy. We're asking for guidance for this week of love, for this week of showing and receiving, giving and receiving of unconditional love, not only with our significant partners, our significant others, but possibly with strangers, possibly with other family members, work colleagues, friends, people, just generally people in our lives. This is the week of showing unconditional love, of just connecting with each other and letting each other know, and sometimes even showing love to the self. Okay, so that's what is important for us for this week. So let's cut the deck. Prosperity sisters are happiness and joy. What do we need to know? What do we need to focus on? What does this week of love have to say to us? The first card we have is our beautiful Queen of Pentacles. I just adore her. She just immediately, when you look at her image, you just get the sense of authority, the sense of everything. I'll explain in a bit. We also have Judgment, right? I understand. We have the King of Cups. Am I going to fit one in? My purple heart might be in the way. Let's shift over a bit. Let's shift over a bit. Let's shift over a bit. And we have the Nine of Swords. All right, I am going to have to bring them all down. Let's adjust. Okay, fire signs. So immediately when I look at the cards that we've drawn, it tells us that this is definitely going to be an emotional week, all right? We need to understand happiness and joy are where we're moving towards. It's what's important and significant. It's where our focus is. But reality has this different idea, okay? Because reality likes to step in and say, you know what, fire signs, actually, you cannot pretend that you are happy and full of joy when actually you're not. When there are other things happening beneath the surface, you have to be honest, you have to face the truth, and you have to work through it. And if you don't work through whatever it is that's worrying you, whatever it is that's holding you back, you are never going to be prosperous, and you're certainly never going to be happy or joyous. So, Queen of Pentacles. As I said to you, she commands, she's got such an aura about her. When you look at her, and actually bring her a little bit closer so you can see, if you look at that expression on her face, I mean, she's got a tiny little smile, but she looks so content, she looks so happy, she looks like she just doesn't have a care in the world. She is crossing her arms almost in a slightly defensive pose, but not from a point of keeping anybody away, but just of like, I'm just so happy and so content with my own reality that I don't need any more. Okay, so she's closing the door off for receiving. She's happy to share, she's happy to give, but she's like saying, I have everything I need. I do not need anything more. And that is actually something quite special. That is actually something quite amazing. To describe Queen of Pentacles as a person, she is somebody who is able to find solutions. She is somebody who knows exactly her power, her authority. She knows what she's capable of. She knows what she can do. She knows what she can't do. And she doesn't pretend to be anybody that she isn't. All right, so she is super comfortable and confident with herself, her abilities, which is where her prosperity comes from, because happiness and joy are absolutely her sisters. Happiness and joy are absolutely what drive her, what gives her her creative ambition. And she doesn't do anything because she has to. She doesn't do anything because it's expected of her. She does things because it brings happiness and joy to her and to everybody else. And that's exactly where her prosperity comes from. So this card to me is Queen of Pentacles, without a doubt. But then we get Judgment. So judgment, you all know what the word is, and it's a word that we all have a very negative association attached to it. We dread being judged. We are all very quick to judge others, okay, and ourselves actually, situations and circumstances as well. But the Judgment card here is basically saying to you that you've got to be honest with yourself, especially when we look at the artwork depicted here. Judgment is really saying that it's time for you to release your inhibitions, to release your fears, to release your anxieties and your stresses, and actually set yourself free. That's what I get with this particular card all the time. We don't follow our truth and our happiness because we fear the judgment that may come in, from it. So we tend to hold back. We tend to hold back who we truly are for fear of judgment. But when we find the confidence to release ourselves from the attachments that society, families, love puts on us, when we find the courage to release ourselves, it's a feeling like none other. Personally, I had this experience many, many years ago when I walked out of the corporate world. You know, the corporate world was stifling me. It was trapping me. It was blocking me. I can use so many different words. And it was a spur of the moment decision to just walk away. And please, I'm not encouraging anybody to do this. This is my journey, it was my purpose. And when I walked away from the corporate world and I freed myself, this is what happened. I stepped into my truth. I stepped into my power. I stepped into my happiness and joy. And I've never looked back. King of Cups, let's bring him into this story now, because again, he sits. Now, she's queen, he's king. She's pentacles, he's cups. So they are the same but different, okay? She's feminine, he's masculine. But he's also very feminine in his emotions. They've both got the eyes closed. And her eyes are, even though they're closed, her head is sort of pointing in sort of that direction. His eyes are closed and he's looking down towards his hand and the singing bowl. He is sitting on top of the water. He's got the fishes, he's got starfish around him, there's boats in the background, but you can see that there's this light emanating off his heart center, and he's even got a little fish hanging, and he's got his mala beads around his neck as well. So he is very much in touch with, in control of his emotions. He, again, eyes closed means he's not allowing the external world to influence him in any way. He's not allowing other people's judgment or external circumstances to navigate or to force his emotions. He is very much in control from within him. So that's why these two are so similar, because no external factors actually influence their behavior, because they've freed themselves. They're honest with themselves first and foremost about who they are, what they are, and what actually matters. And they've released themselves from those judgments and burdens. Now, our last card here, not a very pleasant card, I have to admit. Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords is the card of fears and anxieties and stresses. You can see here she sits with her pillow. She's on her knees. She's got her head in her hands, and above her is just like this chaos of bird chatter and flying around. There's a lot of energy. There's one little bit of hope, and there is lots of negative. Let's just bring it closer. I want you to see that. So you can see that these birds here, they carry a lot of negative, dark energy. And then there's this one light bird that carries this light, but you can see the light bird is going into the chaos. It's flying towards the negative thoughts. One positive thought flying towards the negative thoughts. Now, she is really, really unhappy. Her stress, her anxiety, her self-judgment is incredibly, incredibly high. So fire signs, you've got to understand, as long as there is that one little piece, as long as there is that one little bird of positivity, that one little bird of happiness and joy, that one little bird of hope, there is always hope, because it only takes one positive to work through. It may take a while, but it will work through it. But you've got to let go of external, okay? You've got to let go of what other people are saying, what other people are feeling, what other people may be expecting of you. It's so, so, so important that you let go of that, fire signs. And if you can do that this week, if you can find, and I'm pointing to my purple heart, if you can find love within the self, if you can give yourself permission to be who you truly are, you will overcome the tragedy, the hurt, the pain, the disappointment, the frustration, the stress, the anxiety, the panic. You will overcome all of that you have within yourself, as long as you believe in you. Okay, so this week may be a bit challenging, but you have the power to turn that around by focusing on what brings you happiness and joy, on what brings you tranquility, comfort, freedom. Tranquility, comfort, freedom. That's where your answer lies. So fire signs, I'm going to leave it there because I think that was powerful, incredibly powerful. So fire signs, as always, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for being with me. Wishing you an amazing week ahead, as always, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care, my fire signs.